cues for you to think about as you work on setting up for your kickstand hinge. So the first one is we're going to start with those knee bends, just bending and extending the knee. As you bend your knee, tune in, does my whole body move forward as I bend my knee? We actually want to be able to just bend and extend without the entire body coming with us. When you bend, you notice that all of your weight goes into your forefoot and you lose your heel. That's something that we worked through today. So bend and extend, and play with shifting the weight forward and back in the heel. You'll notice when you find the heel, you might even feel a little bit of that hamstring kick on. Your heel is access to your hamstring, it's our anchor. But when we find the heel, we don't want to drift back into our heel. We want that knee to stay forward over the midfoot. And if you have trouble connecting with that midfoot and really feeling that stomp into the ground, you can place a sock or a mini band underneath there so you can feel that connection. As I set up in my hinge, now my knee is over my midfoot. The next thing I want to think about is my gaze. Where am I looking? Am I looking down? Because then I'm crunching and my pelvis is tucking. So my gaze is forward. And I'm staying nice and long in my body. I imagine I have a unicorn horn on the top of my head and I'm like a tail. And I'm thinking about staying long. So my hinge doesn't happen up here. I want to actually think about my body kind of coming down, my ribs and pelvis staying stacked. If you want to place your hands here so you can feel that sensation. And the other thing that's really common is we want to tune into our rib cage position. If I'm sitting up on the left side and I have this left rib flare, you notice that's almost turning me right. So it's going to be really hard to load this left side if my rib cage is turning to the right. So oftentimes you can set up here and you can just place your right hand on these left lower ribs and give yourself a nice bottom up exhalation. Feel those abdominals and kind of, you can even place a hand here. You can put your hand on a wall, just something to give yourself some point of reference. So I have my right hand on my left lower ribs. Feeling those deep abs as I set up for my kickstand hinge. Then, keeping that stuck, I'm going to come down right about here, and then I'm going to come up. From behind, a couple key things, and I'll walk through the coming up as well. As I'm here, remember we talked about watching that we're not in that kind of rib flared position. That's going to turn us away from our working side. We're over our midfoot. Two things we want to pay attention to. Kind of that hip height. So we want to stay long from armpit to pelvis. So I'm almost thinking about hiking my right side to unhike my left, okay? Last piece, and imagine my right knee drifting an inch or two towards the ground. This slight pelvis shift. If I had a dumbbell, it'd just be like reaching towards my big toe. Woo! And then the last piece of the puzzle here is if this femur is coming in, I want you to imagine nudging this left knee out just like a tiny centimeter without losing that big toe. Rib cage back. Oh, glute. So, working through a few cues. We're playing with that bend and extend. Midfoot pressure, sending the hips back, keeping this left rib cage in check. Watching that we're not hiking the hips, we're going to unhike that, even imagining hiking that right side just a tiny bit. And the last thing is that when you come up, you push from the ground. We're not pulling up, we are push, 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 push. As you come to your standing position, no glute squeeze, just come to stand.